all three of us are talking, and then I want to see like if I could change that stuff, like what I could change the material or edit it so that it actually shows up correctly.
Okay, so
Because
let's
I
do it.
downloaded a trial version.
It says live right now.
I mean, we don't even have to be talking about the game or anything. We can just like, I don't know, just say whatever you want, and
Just
then I'll see how it works out.
You're gotcha. Technical stuff, right?
Okay, got
Yeah,
it.
but
Okay,
I
cool.
figure,
So yeah, we'll just
I figure why not, if we're going to be talking anyways, just talk about the game for a little bit, and then maybe tomorrow or Tuesday at a different time we can talk about like game 3 or how what we saw in game 2 can translate to game 3.
right. Okay. Well, I think that actually the Cavs have some things that they can take from this game that are actual positives. It doesn't seem like it when you lose by 19, but it was kind of a fluky game in some ways. I mean, the Warriors shot more free throws. They won the rebounding battle by 12, which is not going to happen again. And also, just when the Warriors make 18 three-pointers, they're probably going to win, 95% of those games. So it's almost like the Cavs had no shot winning this game anyway, because, 18 threes in one game for the Warriors is just, that's like too much to overcome. But on the positive end, they forced 20 turnovers, and Kevin Love played probably the best game I've seen him play against the Warriors. So I think those are major positives that they can, if they slow the tempo down a little bit, which we'll get to more later, and get that kind of production from Love, I think they do have a chance to win the next 2 games in Cleveland.
Edric, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts. I thought the middle. This guy. Apologies. No, I thought the middle players for the Cavs were atrocious. Not in like
who are the middle players?
Middle players. And I'll even include Kyrie in this because he went 8 for 23, and I think this was his second bad game in a row. A lot of people looked at his numbers last on when was it, Sunday or Thursday when they played. We're like, oh, he had a good game, but like he was just sloppy with the ball in the first half, just real loose with the turnovers, live ball turnovers, which really killed him, and just missing a lot of chip-ins. But like the middle players, so from Kyrie on down, or I guess under Kyrie and Kevin on down, like Tristan, Darren Williams, J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith and Darren Williams are 1 for 14 in the last 2 games. That's very telling. I would hope that's not something that but if it is, they have no chance, obviously. But the middle players really killed them. Tristan Thompson, we spoke about this last time. He's an energy hustle player that had 4 rebounds in 21 minutes.
Yeah,
that's not going to cut it. Like, it's just a lot of players on this Cavs team are just really unplayable versus the Warriors.
But that's like,
they just take so many things off the table without bringing anything to it.
Is it the Warriors, or because maybe it's just against this Warriors team? I was thinking about like talking kind of about the Warriors, like their 2-way players compared to the Cavs 2-way players, which they don't really have any besides LeBron. Because like if you look at like Darren Williams and like Channing Frye, Richard Jefferson, who else? Kyle Korver. Those are all like offensive guys that they play, and against like Eastern Conference teams, they like pretty much dominate. Like they play really well as complementary pieces, and then whenever they need like a stop, they'll bring in like Jumper and who else do they have? I guess JR is kind of a 2-way player, but he was pretty bad tonight.
Yeah, that's like the Warriors roster construction. It's all guys that do multiple things.
Right.
The Cavs, they're built of guys that, I can do this one thing, and if they can't do that one thing, they're average at best.
Like at some point, and when we do one of these later, I want to definitely go over the fact that Cleveland had the number 1 pick 3 out of 4 years, then signed LeBron, traded Andrew Wiggins, and we already know they drafted Anthony Bennett and Kyrie Irving. They traded Andrew Wiggins for Kevin Love. Their roster is very, very flawed considering those things. Like, I do not feel bad for them at all when they lose these games. If Bob Myers had all those assets, the Cavaliers, if Bob Myers was their GM of this whole time, they would be a better team. There's no doubt in my mind. But
years ahead.
Tristan Thompson, they decided to give him that, long-term extension or whatever to be their fourth best player. Like, too bad, They could have kept that money and maybe gotten Kevin Durant or somebody who's just a better player. And I totally agree with both of you. Like, the two-way player thing, like, this whole roster is three-point shooters, and the Warriors, they're one of the best teams in the league at running guys off the three-point line. So they're really neutralizing a lot of their players, and then they're getting them on the other end because they're not very good defenders. So it's not a good matchup for them, it seems like, in my opinion.
Oh, terrible. Like, I mean, take Kyle Korver, for example. He looked awful all game, just like running around defensively. I mean,
yeah,
it was embarrassing almost that they specifically brought in this year for this series. And it just looks stupid now.
Who else is the other guy I'm thinking of? Who's like their defensive unit?
Ugh.
They put in Thompson, Iman Shumpert, I guess.
RJ.
Yeah, RJ, I guess. I mean, RJ, he still plays minutes, but
I mean, his minutes at the 4 are more productive than Tristan Thompson's at this point.
It's kind of crazy. Like, every time I think about Tristan Thompson, like, I remember him last year, and he was just dominating the boards. But this year, I don't know what it is. Like, he's just blocks out better than Bogut, but not really. Like, Zaza doesn't play that much. JaVale doesn't play that much. It's usually against, like, KD. KD's kind of a monster right now, so.
I mean, yeah. I mean, but KD's KD. You add. I mean, it's a different team than last year, obviously, but like, I mean, he's an upgrade at the 3, and he does a whole lot more.
His defense is really impressive to me.
Oh, for sure.
I'm like, damn, he's actually playing like a legit 6'11", 7-footer right now.
I mean, he is like, I mean, you look at him, it's like, oh, just 7-footer, beyond coordinated, just like all over the place, active, strong enough. Like he's the ultimate help side guy. And he's good he's a lot better on the ball than people gave him credit for. I mean, if that's how you really want to talk about or look at it, yeah.
All right. So is that enough material, Roy, to like kind of work with, just to see what, like, if you can make it work, sound good, or do you want more?
More. All right.
All right.
Let's do like, I'm going to try one more thing.
Okay.
Let's just do like one more topic or something. Let me see if I can do it. Let me see if I can try this.
All right. I will talk right now. Talk now. Is that good? Or do you need me to wait?
No, go just. This is all recording, so.
So, I'm actually really curious for Edric's opinion here. Both games in the postgame.
That's my bad. This is exactly what I was about to talk.
Wait, what? It's like a terrible music video. What's going on? Yeah, I hope he's.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
Roy, what was that?
I turned on another camera so that I could like have. Because what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to get multiple screens. Like I want one screen that's on Joey, one on you, and then one on me, so that I can like splice them together and have all three on the window. Because right now, what I'm recording, it's literally exactly what you see on your monitor or what you see like in the chat.
Gotcha.
That's the problem. Like, I can't get a focused camera on you, a focused camera on Joey.
No,
So
I hear
I
you.
think the only way I could do that is if I don't even know, like you'd have to do. I would have to have each of you do like a screen capture of our conversation. Like record what's on your screen and then have it just focus on you yourself. And then you guys send me those video files and then I'll put them all together
Nah, man, there's got to
and
be
then
a better
have
way.
one.
That sounds. Yeah,
I'm gonna ask around.
Exactly.
that sounds like the most.
I'll ask some Bleacher Report
I mean,
people.
obviously, like companies have like the software to do it. I'm trying to like just find solutions online. And I might have found one, but I'm a little unfamiliar. That's why I wanted all this.
Like, I'd rather just
so-
like have it be a podcast, audio only, than you have to do all that. I wasn't trying to make you actually do work here. You know, this is supposed to be like we chill for 30 minutes and we're done. And and then we talk about Game of Thrones for 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, this is more like I enjoy doing stuff like this just to like.
Sure, I mean that sounds like work though, man.
No, it's creative side, so I like it. But obviously, like tonight's would be more of like I wouldn't have any good video of it, but just for fun.
All right, so are we good now though? Then
Yeah, we're good. Unless you have nothing to talk about.
no, I mean I could talk forever, but I feel like Edric's got his buddy there.
Wait, one last thing, Joe. You said you wanted to get my take on something.
Ah, shit. If you're, I was gonna save it now for a couple of days, but I'll just say it because you're here. 2 times in a row, LeBron has gone into the post-game presser. They've asked him like, "What's going on in this series?" And both times he said KD's been the difference. And I just want to know if you think that he's purposely not giving Steph Curry credit. Don't get me wrong. I think KD's been the best player in the series.
Oh yeah.
But do you think that he's like going out of his way to try to keep that mental edge that he does have on Steph?
Oh, I think it's partially that, but I also think because I think part of their strategy might, and I may be wrong. Who am I? Part of the strategy might be make this about KD. Like let KD, because if he's just scoring, if he's getting 35 a game, getting his buckets, like in game 1, the first half, KD was killing. Nobody else was really in a groove. Nobody else was really touching the ball in ways that they wanted to, right? And the game was close. Like there was no, like with the 8 or 9 turnovers they had in the first half, and all that, the game was very much in reach, and the focus was all on KD. For the Warriors, it was like, oh, KD this, KD that, KD that, and so I think he's trying to like throw this out like, oh yeah, it's KD, and the Warriors are like, yeah, KD's unstoppable. Like we gotta keep feeding him, to a point where it's like, okay, so no, it's where nobody else is comfortable, nobody else is feeling it. Clay hit some shots today or anything like that, but he honestly, I mean, he didn't look that comfortable.
No, I mean,
still,
don't you feel like if you keep, like, anytime I've ever been in a basketball game where one player on my team scored all the points, after the game, there's always guys on the other team are saying, if you hadn't been on that team, then you wouldn't have won. Like, I've got that a million times where, like, I'm thinking to myself,
okay,
I'm getting my guy in his spots, like if I'm hitting you, like, and you're putting up 30 points in the game, I'm thinking like I'm giving myself a pat on the back for being smart enough to get you the ball where you need it. And yet, if all you're hearing is no credit and you're hearing KD, it starts to maybe wear on you a little bit. I don't know. I wonder if the Warriors are even like worried about that, but I thought that's kind of what I was thinking.
Oh no, I think that's a good point. I mean, I've been that guy where I'm just like, oh man, like, yeah, KD's scoring, but like, yo, I'm over here too. You know what I mean? And that could
definitely,
yeah. Like, I mean, I definitely think that would come into play. And I mean, if you want to get even more so, like, okay, well, this goes on. I mean, this continues this way. KD's probably going to win MVP.
Mm-hmm.
And then, talking about mental edge over Steph. Okay, so now that's 2 championship wins for the Warriors and 0 MVPs for Steph.
True. Long term, that could have ramifications. Honestly.
Yeah, like what does that mean? What does that say? Like what does it say? What are we like learning here?
Yeah. All right, Riley, what do you think?
I think LeBron is kind of sick of the Curry's going to take over my reign kind of thing, and he still holds a little bit of grudge on that. And I think Edric sent me an article. I think it was from Complex about that a while back. So I kind of thought of that, like how Curry gets away with everything, like how he's like the golden child, and the media loves him, and he's like the kind of superstar or NBA player that people are comfortable with. Not just people, white people. Like
I'll say for
people who
he's the safe black guy.
Yeah, he's a safe black guy. That's what the article said, I think. And I think LeBron is well aware of that. And I don't know. I've never seen LeBron and Steph be chummy towards each other. Like, I don't know if they're friends. Like, I see LeBron and Draymond, like, they're buddies or they're business partners, and they're, like, both uninterrupted. KD and LeBron obviously have, like, a mutual respect towards each other, and they're both Nike. But Steph has always kind of been, like, on the opposite of the spectrum. I mean, not just, like, Under Armour versus Nike, but also, like, obviously what we just talked about, like, in terms of, in the eyes of NBA fans, they're, like, you know, on opposite spectrums.
Yeah, I agree with all that. All right, we good? Break?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to have a link to this entire video, but it's just not going to have, I don't know, you'll see it. You guys can see it. I'll send you the link right after this.
Cool.
No doubt. Well, yeah, are you going to, like, chop it up and stuff?
I'm not going to chop. It's just going to be, like, exactly like what you see here, but that's why I was saying, like, I wanted to kind of play around with it a little bit. But I was also recording in another program, and I'll see how that works.
Gotcha.
All right, Edric.
Yo.
Good seeing you, man. Obviously, we'll be talking in the next few days. So this is the best part of this. I just like chilling with you guys anyway.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Roy, hope you had a good date.
I'll be in my place next time.
For sure. Roy, I hope you had a good.
Thanks again for Matt. Thanks again for Matt for holding me down right here.
Yeah, thanks, Matt.
Joey, were you watching the game on Wednesday?
Who did I watch game with?
Were you watching the game on Wednesday?
I think I'm at work again.
Yeah. Oh, whack. Edric, were you watching the game? You want to watch the game?
What was that?
You want to watch the game on Wednesday?
Oh, you invited me to watch the game in San Jose on Wednesday? That's dope. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
All right. Sweet. All right. See you guys.
Later.